back to game number 3, the last game for tonight's Riot Squad Scrims. Now we are in Erangel, and with an eastern to western flight path, the first teams to jump are Team 25, which is the Vape team, as well as Team 19, which is Rendezvous, as well as Team number 10, Zen. And we also have team number 8, Pen. And then we have a small break before team 20, which is ILU, and team 21, Deathly Hallows, make their way out of the plane. And for the time being, I think we will have a quick look at Team 21 as they head to the small compound just before 70, along with Team 17 and Team number 3. And Welshie has just taken down SK Primus. And that is the System Killers. And Crazy takes down SK Jeff. So that is now 2 kills for the Deathly Hallows team, with Welshie low on health. A member of Rendezvous has just fallen and been knocked. And they are over at Kameshkin, that is Team 19. But for now, let's go straight over to the Pen team as they take on Zen Venom. And that is Yaya being taken down by Pen, Cons, and Zen Missy coming in with the save there, as they are over at the housing area just to the western side of Georgia Pole. And now that it is game 3, it has become awfully quiet. Now, I am not sure if that is because we may be playing with a fewer less teams than game 1 and 2, or it may just be that the teams, bless them, are tired out. 3 games is never easy, I grant them, but I think the teams have done incredibly well tonight. We have seen a fair few kills, and some really decent ones at that, and I think the teams have been playing, you know, I think they've been playing really strategically well tonight. We haven't seen that many risky moves, and the ones that we have seen, I think they were played because the teams had no other choice. But what we'll do now, let's have a quick look at team 6, and that is the Money Killers. Now they are between teams 8 Pen and team 2 Riot, and they are over at Yasnaya. And I think what we were saying is that teams 8 and 2, they're choosing not to push. So that may be that they are just waiting for the other team to make their move, possibly. Or we could just be seeing the teams choosing, you know, to take this a bit calmer, shall we say. You know, choosing not to push, just choosing to let the game play on its own and see what happens. But then I say that and now we hear gunshots. And it looks as though team 6, so MK Wolf may be getting a little too close to Diva and Ghost of team 2. And that is Champion shot to the face. And Diva takes down MK Wolf. It looks as though that was all it took. Diva felt that her area was being encroached, and she then took down the member of Money Killers there. And now Diva has just taken down Huama. And now it's just Jaciso left, with Chaplin still not, but safe-ish behind the wall there. Doesn't look as though the Riot team are choosing to get the thirst yet. And that is unfortunately Chaplin losing the battle there. Now Jaciso is stuck between Panda and what appears to be a Diva either side of them. But they also have Ghost just over at 2852. And now with the zone changing, staying roughly centre, a little bit more on the eastern side. Our teams are now getting closer and closer together. I would say the safest team at this current point is Team 3 Riot, who are up at 7-8. There are no other teams around them. And I just wanted to confirm that. And here we go. So Jacita, Panda and Ghost. And that is the end of Jacito, with Panda getting the killer blow with an Uzi. Diva is low on health as is. And somehow their box has disappeared. So for now, let's now move over to Team 19, which is the Rendezvous team. So here we can see the Deathly Hallows team of Team 21 just up ahead of them. Rendezvous are still looting. Now what we are seeing Team 21 doing is another split. I know. And we have Welshie moving to the left-hand side. But if I'm now right, it looks as though Team 21 are now moving away from that location. And now I think I'm going to have a quick look at Team 20 ILU. They are right next to Team 13, but they are choosing to fight Team 15 Elf. Now this will be really interesting because Team 13 must know that there is a team next to them, especially with the shooting. I don't think there's any physical way they could not know, unless they just have their volume off, which is a possibility, I grant them. So if they are choosing to play mute, they may have no idea that there are at least 2 or 3 teams around them, but if they have their volume on, which I suspect they would, they're too good not to. They must know that Team 20 is right beside them, but they are choosing not to do anything about it. Which may be a huge risk on their part, as it looks as though Team 20 are full aware that there is at least 1, maybe 2 or 3 next to them. And that is it for the ILU team by the looks of it, with all members of Team 20 being wiped out there and Team 13 managing to get away scot-free. But we have now moved over to Team 10, which is Zen. You have all 4 members of Zen at the moment. They are looking towards Wilo and Fluffy of Team 13, who are still over at the compound at Northeast. Now both teams are inside the red zone, and we are looking at V-Man, who is outside of the building. So they are at risk with the red zone now coming down. They may be knocked very shortly. And that is Nemris knocked by the red zone. And now Nemris is back up and running, so we still have 4 members of team number 10, Zen. And let's now have a look at the zone again. So the blue zone will be closing any minute now. So I'm expecting the zone to move west a little. So probably to cut off the Asnaya area, possibly to move a little bit south, cutting off 70 and maybe the shooting range. So any of the teams are on the Northern Island will need to start making their way across. That's what I expect, but I have been proven wrong many a time. So I really don't know what this zone's going to do next. But Wilo has just been knocked by Zen Nemris. Oh, and Welshie of Team 21 has just been taken down by Penvish. And that is Welshie out. That is the end of Welshie for game number 3. And here we go. So the zone has moved west and it has moved south. Possibly the first time I've ever had a right prediction. So we're now seeing Team 19 having to move down, as well as Team 23. So they now have to move south. We still have members of Deathly Hallows going up against the Penn team, with Crazy just been taken down. And just like last match, we are now left with Bazza and Eyes of Team 21 going up against 4 members of Team 8. We also have Zen Rider from Team 11 needing to move west, along with the Elves of Team 15 and the Rendezvous Team 19. Now this could be where a fair few of our teams may collide, as they are all trying to enter the zone at the same point. And Zen Rider has just managed to speed through in the Jeep, missing the elf members. They did fire, but unfortunately they were not able to get a knock this time round. So here we go. Let's move over to the Vape team now and have a quick look as they go up against the Paradox. And now we are 20 minutes into game number 3. We are probably around 8 or 9 minutes away from the end. So let's have a quick recap of where we stand so far. So we have 12 teams left in play, 38 players. And if we have a quick look, we have Team 3 Riot, who are on no kills at the moment. But we then have Team 8 Pen, who are on 5. Team 10 Zen on 1. Team 11 Zen on none. Team 13 The Paradox on 3. Team 14 Lionhearts on none. Team 15 Elves on none. Team 19 The Rendezvous on 1. Team 21 Deathly Hallows on 2. Team 22 Fusion Elite on 2. Team 23 The Paradox on none. And Team 25 Vape on 3. The zone is moving in now. And Team 8 Pen will need to make their way in, as well as Team 21 Deathly Hallows, Team 15 Elves, and Team 13 The Paradox. And there we go, so let's move over to Team 19 Rendezvous. They're going up against Team 15 Elves, as well as Team 3 Riot, who are over at Northwest, around 300 mark. So we have Quan and Shadow just up ahead of them, trying to take cover by the ridges and the coast. And there's Elf Vision being finished off by the play zone. Rendezvous being fired at inside their vehicle, with Red Zone very close to being knocked, but just managing to get around the corner to safety. And Wilo has just got a knock on Elf Shadow. Oh, and V-Man gets the kill there on Elf Quan. A brilliant shot there from an M16. And that is the zone, finishing off Bazza and Lionhearts getting the knock on eyes there. So that's the end of Deathly Hallows for game number 3. So here we go, we're 25 minutes into game number 3. We are very close to the end. We have 9 teams remaining, 25 players. A couple are currently knocked, so that should change very, very shortly. With Wilo going down to Nemris, FBI taking down Imani, Tao taking down Supreme, Tao taking down FBI, and Red Zone getting Imani with FE Tao now coming in and claiming the kills on Rendezvous. Now Riot just driving up to the Fusion Elite team with Tao being the last standing inside the house to the left hand side. Looks as though they haven't noticed him there and have chosen to leave him be. But they are now approaching team 13. Shots are now being fired, so Riot will know their location. And that is Goddess being knocked as a result. And that is Fluffy being finished by Riot. Get over it. We still have Wilo up at Southwest. Goddess is now back on her feet. Wilo is just behind the ridge at 240. The play zone is now taking down members of Lionhearts. Down by Wilo, and that is Wilo with the kill. And now Wilo has just moved to the left slightly. Grenades and mollies are coming in, but it looks as though the Riot team don't realise how far away Wilo has moved. And that is Vape now taking down members of the Paradox. And Vape Rocky has just been taken down by Zen V-Man. So that is now Team 10 going up against Team 25. Wilo has just taken down Zen Fallen. And that is Wilo getting the kill on Zen Fallen. And Killam has just been finished off by the play zone. Vape takes down Riot, get over it. And now we have our top 3. It's Vape against Zen against the Paradox. 1v2 v an incredible 1v3v3, sorry. So Wilo is a solo over at 150. We've got V-Man and Nemris at 190. We have Mustang who's knocked at 95. And we have the 3 members of Vape at 110. And a molly and a grenade has just been thrown in. Vape Mustang has just managed to crawl down to V-Man, who are now trying to revive. Oh, and that is a grenade taken down Mustang, thrown by Vape Rocky. Grenades are still coming down. That car is on fire. One more shot and that should be enough to get a knock there. There's the man doing damage himself. And that's given him another location to hide behind. Wilo is low on health anyway at 150. And that is V-Man knocked courtesy of Vape Denny. And that is it. So it's now Wilo against the Vape team. And that is that. And the winners of game number 3 are the Vape team with an impressive 12 kills there. We then have the Paradox in second with 6. We have Zen in third with 3. We have Riot in fourth with 1. We have Fusion Elite in fifth with 6. We have the Paradox in sixth with none. And then we have Lionheart in seventh with 2. If you have enjoyed the stream, please follow the channel for new content. And you have been watching the Riot Squad Scrims. And all that is left for me to say, as always, is please take care, stay safe, and we will see you the same time next week. Good night, guys, and thank you very much for watching.